It's finally the time that we've all, or I have been waiting for. I'm finally going to remove my strawberries from this gardening space. I have my green stalks, the purple ones. I love them already before I even put any soil in them. So today, what I'm going to do is before the cold starts setting in, I'm going to come in, put some soil in these green stalks and remove these strawberries. What I'm hoping is that for the big plant of strawberries over here, that it actually has more than one plant, because each green stalk has 6 different pockets for me to plant in. I think that the strawberries should completely fill one pocket. I'm gonna pretty much snip them up, put them in the green stalk, and then put those strawberries inside of the garage to be overwintered. And as far as the rest of the tiers of the green stalk, I'm gonna put some other plants in and sit it on the very small patio that we have here with some greens and whatever else. But first things first, let's get to removing these strawberries today. Here's the before of what the strawberries look like before they come out of the garden. You can see that with fall weather and cool nights, they're already starting to die back a little. Still have a little bit of production in there, but we want to use this garden space for something else. So let's get going and remove these from this particular garden space. Okay, so first things first, I think what I have to do is pretty much fill the green stalk. So I'll put all the extra parts on the other side. And then this bag is pretty heavy, but from what I've heard, the green stalk takes about 1 cubic foot of soil. So the soil that I have here, hopefully it's a good one. I've used it in several of my pots over on the other side is Vigoro. I had an extra bag, so for this and this only, I'm not going to be as selective with the soil. If it doesn't turn out to be good, then I'll think about what to switch the soil in for next time. So since the bag's pretty heavy for me, let me just go in and fill up this green stalk with soil here. So because this is my first green stalk ever, what I want to do is not add any like soil amendments and just use liquid fertilizer if I need it, because I'm not sure how it's going to be. I do know that using pots, you have to sometimes water them a whole lot more than in the ground stuff. So just trying to empty it as much as I can, loosen up the soil here. And let's see if I can pour it, make it go a little bit faster. So from what I've been reading about strawberries is I just need to make sure I have the crowns in good shape in order to put them into the green stalk itself. So I poured just about half of this bag, maybe a little bit more, and I'm only like maybe 3/4 full in this green stalk. So I'm just pretty much moving the soil around, leveling it off as much as I possibly can. Here, I'm gonna put more in. Break up all the clumps here. But what I also want to do is I want to make sure that however I fill it, I can still put the top of the watering on top of it. So I am going to water the strawberries in once I get them down. Turn this way. Once I get them down in there. And this heavy, yeah. So it's a lot of soil. Going to be very heavy. Move everything down and around. So what I want to make sure is I can actually still fit like the water basin on the front of it. So yeah, I can, and it looks like I still need a ton more, not a ton, but a lot more soil in here. So I guess they're right. Like basically one full bag of soil per tier. All right, so we have it all full, and the next thing I'm going to do is start with getting the strawberries out of the bed. I'm going to work my way over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 tiers. If I try to lift this, I don't want this to blow away. So if I try to lift this, very, very heavy. Gonna need some help lifting. And for now, before I even put it in the garage to overwinter it, I know that they say once you pull out your strawberries, they're not gonna fruit anymore for this season. But I'm gonna leave it out on my patio for a while because I want to see how much I have to water this. Put the top part on here. I think the amount of strawberries I'm gonna have is 6. So just want to see. So what I am noticing is got to make sure that it's nice and firm. So this is the water base, and then I'm going to have strawberries in each of these tiers. So, all right, got the soil in, and we're going to start with the smaller strawberries, dig a pocket around, and just see how many we can get in here. All right, I'll start on this side because this is where I am, and let's just start removing these strawberries. This biggest strawberry plant here put out some runners. So I'm going to come in, find the runners, and clip them. I may just have to harvest any strawberries that I have. But to just get them out, let me just start clipping here, here. And I'm going to dig very deeply to make sure I get the complete roots for this without damaging it. I think they're pretty much down in there. Trying to dig it out. So let's do this one first. I see it's coming up fairly easily. And I hope I'm doing this right because I did watch a few videos. They had a deeper shovel, but I figured mine are my strawberries are fairly new to this bed. And then I see that I need to clip over here where the runner came out at. So we have one full strawberry little root here. We also have a strawberry on the side that's half eaten by, I guess, an insect, and more strawberries that are gonna cut off any of the dead limbs or vines to the strawberry. And there's one full one. I'm gonna put this one over into my green stalk and then pretty much start digging for the others. Here, I think I already cut the limbs here. Just going in, trying not to damage the strawberry root ball itself. Try to wiggle it out. As I said previously, the soil over here is very, very rich. Every time I go digging in my soil, I sometimes find a little worm here. So we're gonna clip off any of the dead leaves. We don't really need those in the green stalk. And clipping off all the dead leaves. And then move this one over. So far, I've taken 2 of the strawberry plants out of the garden. I put them inside of the green stalk, leaning them over so that they could pretty much be like the videos and pictures on the Green Stalk website. I left some strawberries here because I want to see if it's still going to produce. one of the things that I've learned with overwintering strawberries and moving them from one place to the other is the main strawberry plant over there is still in the garden. So that's the main one that I bought and planted this year. However, they say that when you cut the runners off, the runners are actually called the daughters of the main strawberry plant. So the daughters are supposedly supposed to produce very prolifically in years 3 through 5, well, 2 through 5. Okay. Here we have the mother strawberry plant. As you can see, it's much larger than the runners here. Has some strawberries here. We're going to pluck those off. Has some dead leaves here. We're going to pluck those off. And before I even start to try to put it inside of the planter, I'm going to try to take off all the rhizomes, which is basically roots that were living in the soil that I have in this particular garden bed. So a little bit later, I'll come in and I'll trim off all the dead. But let's just say I'm going to put this on this side because it's the mother plant. Like I said, it's going to produce about 3 to 4 years. The daughter plants will produce about 5 years very prolifically. So like I said, I've pretty much think I figured this out. So I'm going to put the root ball, and then I'm not going to cover the crown of the strawberry plant. I'm going to, for this particular planter, put it along the edge, bend it right over, and be able to put these strawberries down in. And then for here, I'm going to have to loosen up the existing root ball that it had. This is the biggest plant, the initial plant that I bought that started with the runner. So you can see the roots are very tangled here. I don't want to completely remove all of the roots, but I'm going to just pretty much mix them all up, dig a bigger hole down into the green stalk, and push them on in. And then I'll come back in a little later and trim off any of the dead. I'll harvest any of the strawberries that are in here. Just coming in, covering up the roots here on all sides, all the way around, leaving the crown to be at the top of this particular strawberry plant. And what I want to see is with the mother plant here, I want to see that if I put another tier or even the reservoir on top, I want to see how much it will smush or not smush the plants themselves. So this particular planter, you clip them right in, clip them in on all sides. Come in here, push them, click, push on here, click. And what I did notice with this, and everyone should be careful of this, is when you put soil in, it pushes it out. So you just got to make sure everything is clicked in appropriately, and it is. So if you can see all the way around, I have about 2 pockets left to put some strawberries in here. We have strawberries here. We're going to see if they're going to leave, even though I just moved them. I'm going to come in, switch this around, and as you can see, as I switch it around, we're eventually going to have wheels for this. I can come in and clip out these tiny strawberries here, and on this side for the mother plant, I'll be able to come in and cut off any of the dead and the very tiny strawberry plants that I have here. All right, so now what I'm going to do is just essentially come in, remove the rest of the strawberries from the bed, and I may perhaps have to use another tier of the green stalk to put these in. And I'm going to, each tier, it takes about 1 full bag of garden soil, of potting soil, not garden soil, inside of here. And I think my wheels come tomorrow for the green stalk, and I'll be able to put them right onto the patio, which I won't have to worry about squirrels or groundhogs coming onto the patio section itself. So now I can say that I have pretty much rescued these for seasons to come with a green stalk bed. And the one great thing about green stalk, and I've been reading and watching reviews, is apparently that they have a warranty and they are very durable in all types of weather. We are going to cover these for the winter, but for now I'm just going to come in, dig out the rest of these strawberries, and then put it on the patio. All right, let's get going. Now, when filling up my green stalk with these strawberry plants, for this one, I'm just going to go ahead and clip off all. It only put out very tiny strawberries. So what I'm going to do is go in and clip off the ones that are teeny tiny along with any of the dead roots. Well, dead leaves, not roots. And I'm going to remove them. And what I also did before putting them down into the soil is I inspected the root ball to make sure I'm not putting any slugs, grub worms, or any of that inside of my green stalk. So very important to make sure you don't have any aphids. Um, I heard that mites like to hide within strawberry plants, so make sure you check them. These ones were on its way out. The weather's getting pretty cool here, so there's a lot of deadness on these strawberries. I'll probably come in and clip off everything a little later, but because I'm putting red Russian kale in here as well, and maybe another type of root vegetable, which I need to check the red Russian kale. And if I check it already, I see a little bit of aphids here. So I'm going to make sure I come in. For right now, I'm just moving them off with my gloves here. Gloves on, checking up underneath the leaves. So I know that I have to come in and spray this tier. I'm not going to put it on top of the other tier with this stuff in it. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to clear out some of the soil that I put down in there and check the other plant before I put it in. So, yeah, so check the root ball. This is the next to the last one that I dug out of the garden. I'm really just looking into the root ball itself. Oh, a worm is stuck inside the root ball here. So, I'll leave it. But I am going to take my scissors here because I don't know where I did with my shears and just cut off any of the dead leaves. So just trim them on off. Make sure there are no slugs or diseases down in here. Trim off any of these dead leaves that are attached to the crown. They're coming off fairly quick, easy, so I could pull these out. And then if these strawberries don't make it over the winter, I'm not gonna be too upset because I kind of subconsciously want to buy new ones anyway. So, all right, getting all this deadness out of here. I'm even gonna go ahead and clip out the dead portions of strawberry that was in there. All right, so I think I got majority of it. I just pull it all out. Gonna leave that worm in there. Gonna tilt it so that when I put the top on, it will remain. Grab some soil. So for this green stalk, I'm gonna put it up top. Well, it's not gonna be up top. It's gonna be the very bottom layer, but maybe the next to the bottom layer because I do need to lift it and add more soil down at the bottom down here. So covering the crown only, and well, covering the root, not the crown, putting it in there. And I switch it around, which I already put this one in. I found a slug, so I had to make sure I dig that out. And here we go. So I have enough room to put another plant. What I'll do is I'll put some soil down in here.
Thanks for joining me as I move these strawberries from the garden bed to my new vertical green stalk planter. As you can see, I've mixed them in with other plants and set everything up here on the deck. I'm excited to see how they do in this 3-tier setup. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe and stay tuned to follow along with the journey of what's in the green stalk planter and the various growing experiences. Thanks for watching and happy growing, everyone!